All right, guys, today is Tuesday, November 15th, 2022, and I have nothing for an update for you guys on my wife's 55 four-door. I have done nothing to it besides modify the brake pedal assembly a little bit. That's it. We've had nothing but rain and super cold weather. It rained for like 3 days in a row, then we had a day off and it was super cold and windy. Then it rained again and it's just been cloudy and crappy and windy. I'm not down to go out and freeze my butt off working on this thing under the carport because I'm not doing any body work and stuff like that inside this garage to make a huge mess and get the smell inside the house for my wife to get irritated at me over. So I haven't done anything to it, and it's kind of frustrating. I was really fired up to do a little bit of work to it. It's not that far from getting primer on it. It's just a little bit more body work to do, but after going through my notebook, project notebook, which I've mentioned before, it's always nice to have a notebook project notebook, so you can go back and read up on the notes and parts needed and all that kind of stuff. It's just when I have something in my head, I'll write it down in there, whether it be a part I need or a tool I need or try to make this fit or mock up this or that type of stuff. I can go back and read that notebook and I can get caught back up where I was when I quit on this, which was 6 months ago. And I definitely forget things within 2 days, let alone 6 months. So anyway, I went through and I watched quite a few of my videos on this car, the last several videos I did, and I'm kind of blown away going back and watching those because I've done a lot of work to this car, man. I could almost say that the hard work is done. I completely done the chassis. It's all done. I did all the rust repair. The underneath of the car is coated. Floor pans replaced. The rust repair's done. Firewall smooth. The doors were gapped. The trunk was gapped. I even fit the panels to the body better. So modified the dash, customized it. I've done a lot of work, man. I'm pretty happy about that. Built motor mounts, built a cross member, that type of stuff. Whole bunch of work I did to this already, and I can't believe it, but I am huge into mock-up. I removed the body from this originally so I could get better access to repairing the rusty floors underneath and on top and underneath, but also just to be able to coat it underneath real good. I power washed it and then went in there with a cut brush and chipped at a lot of the undercoating. What was loose, I removed. What was still stuck, I left. And then I did the whole underneath of the car with PR15 semi-gloss black or flat black, whatever it is. But so a lot of work done to the car, and I didn't want to put it back on the chassis to mock up a bunch of stuff. So I was kind of taking a big chance because I was being lazy, is really what it was. But now I have acquired so much other parts for this car, and the direction has changed on several of those items from where I was going originally. I really need to mock them up because I don't want any surprises after paint. Once paint's on there, paint's on there, you know what I mean? So, especially when it comes to the firewall. So I've decided I'm going to go ahead, before I do any body work or anything on it anymore, I'm going to go ahead and set it back on the chassis, and it's going to do two things. It's going to allow me to mock it up, but I'm also going to be able to get the chassis out of the weather because that has been out there for 8, 9, 10 months. I don't even know. I had a tarp on it. It ended up blowing off at one point. I don't know how long it was off of it, probably months during the summer. So I need to get that back in here under the cover of the garage. But I need to set the engine and trans in it, and I'm going to try mocking up the vintage air kit in here. That way I can cut my hoses to fit and everything. Mark them after I cut them, get them all fit up, mark them with a marker, and then I can take them and get them crimped. I don't have that tool to crimp AC hoses, but I want to get that done. I need to build mounts for the air conditioning condenser. It goes in front of the radiator because I'd already built a bracket and everything and had it modified for the front of the radiator for a transmission cooler. So now I have to relocate that, and I already built transmission lines for that. So that's going to have to be redone. I'd just rather not have any surprises after paint. I'd rather it go together smoothly like my hardtop did. So that's what I want to do. What else? I got a dual reservoir power brake booster system for the car, vacuum power brakes with a proportioning valve. So I need to build all the front brake lines. I've got the rear brake line done, but I don't have it, teed in up here or nothing. But I need to build all those. That vintage air kit, I've got to drill a hole in the firewall that I had already welded up and smoothed. I've got to drill that back open because that's what mounts the box. And I think I can weld these up And then it comes with some kind of little plastic cover, if I remember. I'm going to have to look. I think it comes with some kind of goofy plastic cover to go up here, because everything comes out of this hole now, the lines and all that. And I don't want that. I want to try to do something out of steel, make it look like it's supposed to. So I don't really want to buy a bulkhead fitting or anything. It's just too expensive. So I'm going to try building something on my own there. I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet. I just got to wait till I mock it up. Another direction I changed was exhaust. So I have a brand new set of Aluma-coated shorty style headers for 3/4 inch forward motor mounts for a Tri-5 Chevy. I bought them brand new in probably 2011, 2012 from Speedway. And I've actually installed several of those sets on Tri-5s through the years. But I bought them for another 55 project that was in front of this one. And then when I got this car, the other car turned into a parts car. And so I was going to use those headers on there. And then I ended up going stainless steel on that car. So those headers have been out in my shed still in the box brand new. I don't really want to put headers on this car because right now I'm experiencing header collector gaskets leaking on this. And that is already not fun to change 2 of the 8 spark plugs in because of the headers. This car, I want it to be a little bit nicer, easier to work on, I guess I should say. So I want to put cast iron manifolds on it. I don't have ram horns or anything like that. These are off, I don't even know. I want to say they're probably 75, 76 El Camino. I don't even know. But they were out here in my junkyard out here. And they appear to be in pretty decent shape, which I'll blast them and I'll coat them with the exhaust manifold coating. But I would rather put manifolds on it. And I don't know if they're going to fit. Haven't done any research because it's not going to do me any good because I built my own engine mounts and cross member. And I did move the engine forward a little bit, but I didn't move it at 3/4 inch complete forward. Also, I think I have the engine up a little bit or down, up a little bit, I think higher. I don't remember. But so what doesn't work on somebody's Tri-5, it may work on yours. You know what I mean? You're not going to know until you mock up. So that's another reason why I want to mock it up. If they work, I'm rolling with it. And then I can build my exhaust system. I'm going to build it in 2 pieces to where it couples together. And that way I can take it apart, break it down, and put it in my shed in the loft. So when the car's all painted and done, all I got to do is come out and bolt the exhaust system under it and be done with it. So mock up. Just basically that's what I want to do. But I also acquired this was back when I sold my motorcycle. I bought a whole bunch of parts for this car, a lot of stuff for this car. And I got a windshield washer assembly that's kind of like just the same rig I set up here in the hardtop. This is all customized. But I bought all the components to actually work off of the dash like a factory 55. But hers is a 210 with a black center, and that's exactly what I got with a factory push button. So I've got to build a bracket in the course port for that. So go in that direction. But there's quite a bit of stuff I need to mock up just to make me feel more comfortable about it and getting it done. So I finally acquired this. You Tri-5 guys know what that is. That is the most elusive thing to find, I think, for a 55, 6, or 7 Chevy. I didn't care originally what it was off of. I didn't care what 3 years it was off of. I was going to put it on there because that is the look, you know. They have different snout links and some other different things about them, but for me it was just the look. And I'm not going to modify it like I did my hardtop. This one I made it into a cold air set. I'm not doing that to that. I'm going to leave the factory snout on it and all that because I'm going for a more original 265 look on this car. So, and I've kind of changed directions on carburetors. I had a Holley 600 that I modified into a dual line with a metering jet in the back and all that stuff with a dual line. And I had this Edelbrock up there, and since her engine's going to be pretty much stock, I don't mind using that on there. I'll have to put a kit in that and clean it up and put a new accelerator pump in it and stuff. But that's a fairly new back. It's been on the shelf for years, but I know stuff's going to be dried out and it's probably dirty inside. But I've decided to use that little 600 Edelbrock on it, and that way it just has one single fuel outlet. I bought the glass bowl fuel filter for it that like factory had, and I'm going to try to utilize it as well. Just kind of help pull off some of that stock look, and it'll be a 305, but I want it to look like a 265. So, I mean, it's not going to be all correct, like manifolds, exhaust manifolds, and fan and pulleys and all that. It's going to be long water pump pulleys and that type of stuff, long water pump setup on the car with the radiator in the 6-cylinder position. But I just want a lot of the stuff on the engine to look like it's an original rig. But I think it's kind of cool. I got another idea rolling around in my head, and I may try to do that, but I don't want to talk about it right now. So, that's it. I don't have any updates for you guys. None. Kind of sucks. I was fired up to work on this. The weather is just not letting me do anything. I'm not really interested in rolling this car outside in 30 and 40 degree weather and working on it underneath the shade of the carport with the wind blowing through there to freeze my butt off. Not interested. I know that temperature is not cold to some people, but to me, having arthritis in my hands and in my lower back, it is not a good time. So what I can do is, put it on the chassis. I'll have to wait for a good day to do that. It's only going to take me like a couple hours to get the body on, at most. It's mainly digging all the components out to get it hoisted up in the air to get it on it. But, at that point, once it's in here, I can work on it in the warmth. So, probably be getting back on the hardtop here pretty quick, but I really wanted to try to do something to this, but maybe after I get it back on the chassis, maybe I will. I mean, who knows? I don't even know what I'm going to do tomorrow, you know what I mean? Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Sorry I don't have much of an update for you.